You're the owner of a small business, which means you're also the tech guy, and HR, and personal assistant, and head honcho, and intern. You could use another pair of hands, like the experts you'll find at Verizon Small Business Days, April 21st through 27th. Get a free tech check, special deals, and more. Call 1-800-483-4428 or visit verizon.com/smallbusiness to book your appointment. Verizon Business.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Hi, welcome to another hour or so of Talking Real Money. I'm Don McDonald. Thanks for stopping by. We will do something that very few other shows do, and that is talk about money in a way that makes sense, that is entirely logical, and based on science. 855-935-TALK is our phone number. You can call during the show that we do live on Saturdays from 3 to 5 Eastern, noon to 2 Pacific on Como Radio in Seattle, or you can call any other time and get your question answered on the podcast, which is also called Talking Real Money, because that's what we do. I'm Don McDonald. My co-host Tom Cock is on vacation, and we've had a bunch of people waiting over the top of the hour, so instead of doing something else, my focus is on the callers, so we're going to focus on the callers. Sherry, thanks for waiting patiently. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Sure. My question is, I have a 401k, and it has $114,000 in it, and I actually have that 401k for a long time, and when I quit working, I was disabled, so I had $100,000 in it. And it's growing, and I've taken money out, and it stays about $114,000. Mm-hmm. So I withdraw money, and I don't pay taxes, or I don't pay a penalty to take money out, and I use it. Mm-hmm. And my husband says, no, you shouldn't touch it, let it grow. And I take it out and kind of take it down to $100,000. And then it just grows back up again. And and I'm just wondering what you think. Is it okay to use that money for things?
Why are you taking money? Wait, one, this is a 401k?
Yes.
Okay. And I assume you're retired.
Well, yeah, I'm on disability. I'm 62.
Okay. So you're past 59 and a half, so you're good. So there's no penalties. Yeah. You just pay the taxes on it when you take it out, correct?
Yes, and I can take up to $16,000 a year and not pay any tax.
Huh?
So for my income.
Oh, I got it, because your income is low. Okay, so now.
Correct.
What? It sounds to me like you take it out because you want to use it. Is that why?
Yes.
Well,
I want it. I'm on I get a disability check. I want to buy things and have things. Okay. I think $100,000 I always have $100,000 available. Then I keep it at $100,000. So if it goes over, I spend it. I think, and I earned it all. It's my income. Yeah. I bought it all. And
Sherry,
so we seem to argue. He thinks I shouldn't touch it.
But Sherry, does the money bring you pleasure currently?
It brings me pleasure when I have it, and when I use it, because I buy things I'd like to have.
Well, that's what money's supposed to be for. So I have to tell you, from a purely financial standpoint, if you're being just financially logical, you leave it in there, you let it grow like crazy. But then what are you going to do with it? Eventually, you're going to spend it, right?
Well, that's my plan. Is I'm old. I'm supposed to save it for old age. I'm old.
Sherry, I'm older than you are. I'm not old, so therefore you cannot possibly be old if I'm older than you, and I'm not old. No, I refuse to accept that. All right, here's the deal.
I'm old, but I don't want to spend money like I'm young. I want to spend it and have fun.
Okay.
And I know
Sherry,
I always will have that money.
Sherry, I got to tell you, as far as I'm concerned, you win. You win.
Cool. I don't think you'll like that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sherry's husband. From a purely financial, long-term, letting it grow, kind of being frugal and, whatever standpoint. Yeah, okay, I get it. But money is there to provide security and comfort. And you're using it for your comfort. And as long as you're not being foolish with it, and I don't think you are, you're leaving that principal amount there. You're not pulling it out. You're not drawing it down below $100,000 ever, correct?
Correct.
Well, then go have fun.
Cool. That's my plan, and I've been using it. I've been doing it since 2008, and I've always made sure there was always $100,000 limit.
Then, from this person's standpoint, for what it's worth, I give you my blessing.
Cool.
Okay.
I can't wait to tell him.
All right. And by the way, you're not old. Just get over it. No, you're not.
Oh, you're not either.
No, don't argue. Thanks, Sherry. You won. Don't argue anymore.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Bye. She's not old. 855-935-TALK is our phone number. 855-935-8255. You see, you have to remember, money is two things. Money is there to be grown and to build up, but it's also there to be used at some point. What's the point? That's personal. You got to decide for yourself. 855-935-TALK. Call me. I'd love to talk with you.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
You've heard that about 99% of all financial advisors are not always required to act in your best interest. You've probably been pitched financial products by all manner of friends and relatives, and the investing you have done is probably a hodgepodge of ill-fitting pieces that are doing little to provide the financial security you need. If you're looking for a 100% pure fiduciary, and we'll put that in writing, low-cost, fee-only advisor who always puts you first, give Vestory a call at 800-386-3004. That's 800-386-3004, or visit us online at Vestory, VESTORY.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Yeah, we are, because it's really important, and it's very important that you get how to invest it and how to spend it right and all those other things. I'm Don. Tom's on vacation. 855-935-TALK is our phone number, and Dave is up next. Welcome to Talking Real Money. Hi, Dave.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, thank you for taking the call. I'm hoping that I can get it over this kind of quickly, because I'm not sure I have all the answers you're going to need.
Okay.
But I listened in the radio to your comments about the annuities.
Yeah.
And my wife has one. She's not available to talk right now. But the gentleman who sold it to her is wanting to touch base and see if there are any changes we want to make.
It's time to sell you another annuity.
I get confused. It's called a New York Life Guaranteed Lifetime Income Annuity. And I think we had it about 7 years.
Guaranteed Lifetime Income Annuity. So are you taking income from it now?
Well, I think it's paying us. It's in an IRA, so I think we have to take withdrawals.
It's in an IRA. That's really bad. Annuity should never, ever, 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 ever be in an IRA. Ever. Ever. Ever.
Okay.
Ever. Because they're costly.
On your radio.
They're high commission products.
God, I'm just.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do next. My wife and I are not that. We're both retired. I'm 80. She's 74.
Okay. Okay. So you are.
The promise that was made that stood out in my mind when she bought it was that you'll never lose money. You'll never lose any more money than you put into it.
That's true.
It'll never drop below that amount. Does that make sense?
That is true. Yes, that is true. But what it is this is a fixed rate annuity. It is it's designed to be annuitized, and which is one of the reasons why it just doesn't make sense that it's in an IRA. I have to tell you, you have it now. I wouldn't mess with it. It's not horrible. It's just that I would have never wanted this inside an IRA. It may be a perfectly good tool outside of an IRA to generate safe income, but it's there, it's done, but the person who sold it to you should never be allowed to give you advice again.
Wow.
I don't care how nice they are, and I know they're always nice. They are. That's why they're in sales. That's why they're in sales. Nice people go into sales.
Yeah.
But he's a salesman.
Now, if a change is made, will this generate a
yes.
income for him?
Yes.
I mean, a bonus or something?
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why he's looking to try to do something, because he's looking at his book, and I bet he called just before the end of July, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, well, because he's looking at the end of the month going, I didn't make my quotas.
Now, he's getting close to retirement. Does that make a difference in what he's going to do?
No, he's still making money off of you.
Income from this company,
absolutely,
by moving things around.
Exactly. He will. This is his sustenance, but his sustenance is your sustenance, and you have to put your needs ahead of his. I don't care how nice he is. Are you willing to hand him thousands of dollars for being nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's what you do. You say, from now on, you say, we're fine. We don't need anything else. If going forward you decide that you need to make some changes, call me. I'll talk you through them. But right now, I don't think you need to mess with anything.
Changes?
I don't think you do need to do anything.
All right.
I'm just saying, if something comes up down the road and you go, oh, we need to change something, don't call that person. Call me.
Call you.
On the show.
Okay.
Okay? Because I promise I will tell you the truth, and I will make nothing. I make no money off of talking to you.
Well, this is totally confusing to us. I mean, the paperwork on it is,
my gosh, yes. It's voluminous, and that's one of the problems.
That's what
good investments have small prospectuses. Bad investments have big disclosure documents. And I am confident that he made at least a 5% commission off of the sale of this to you. And that he's also collecting a thing that's called a trailer. He gets a percentage of the money you make, basically, or you should be making, for having sold it to you before. But it's time for him to make another commission, so he's thinking, how much do you have in this, roughly?
About $390,000.
Oh, golly. Yeah, he's looking at this and just salivating at the prospect of a $15,000 to $20,000 commission.
Oh, my goodness.
If he puts you in another annuity, don't do a thing. Do not do a thing. Because it's an older annuity, so it's paying a decent rate. I would leave it alone. But my guess is he's going to try and sell you a newer, cooler product that will earn him a 5-figure commission.
Okay. So if we wanted to move it, is this something, it's our money, we could move it anywhere we want, right?
Yes, sir, you could. You could.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
We should move it?
Not right now.
Okay.
I heard your wife.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I enjoy listening when I can, and I'll continue to listen when I can.
And what you have right now is safe. Thank you. Just hang in there. Thank you so much. 855-935-8255 is our phone number. I would love to have you call me. Here's the thing. I'd really love for you to call me when someone's pitching this stuff to you. But I know that's not always possible because they pitched it a long time ago. But if you know someone who is getting ready to make an investment, before they get into a stupid annuity, it's just a phone call. And by the way, you can always just say, well, that Don McDonald is full of hooey. I'm not paying any attention to him at all. I'm going to just do whatever I want. But at least call Tom and me to get another opinion. It can't hurt. It can only help. And it's so easy to do. You can do it 24/7. 855-935-TALK. That's the phone number. 855-935-8255. Oh, and by the way, there's also a new way of asking questions, because we do take written questions at talkingrealmoney.com. You just go to talkingrealmoney.com/contact, and you can type in a question. But there's also a little microphone button there, and you can, on your computer, speak a question. Particularly good if you have a microphone on your computer, because then it sounds great. It doesn't sound like a phone call. It sounds like really high-quality audio stuff. So just get in touch with us before you do anything. And speaking of annuities, coming up in just a little bit, we've talked about this before. We've talked about annuities inside 403Bs. Just as bad as putting an annuity in an IRA, but teachers and healthcare workers are doing it all over the country, and it's bad. We'll talk more about it in a minute.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
If you're sick of your self-interested financial advisor and are looking for a 100% fiduciary low-fee investment advisor, call my firm Vestory at 800-386-3004 or visit us at vestory.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
I wish the insurance industry would just go back to selling insurance. Annuities were designed as a means by which they could compete with the investment industry. And compete, they have. They've done very well because they got huge sales forces. But I hate them. Generally, I dislike them, but I totally hate them in qualified retirement plans because they impart no additional benefit. You can't get double tax deferral, and that's one of the benefits of annuities. They cost more. They're less transparent. They pay the people who sell them almost always gigantic commissions. So there's a lot of reason for people to mislead you. Now, that leads me to a story that we discussed, I think it was a couple of years ago, where the Florida Teachers Union was in cahoots. I love the word cahoots. They were in cahoots with VALIC, the Variable Annuity Life Insurance Company, a division of AIG, the largest insurance company in the country. The VALIC was found by the Wall Street Journal to be paying the salaries of 3 employees who worked for a company created by the Florida Teachers Union. And what these employees were doing was they were going out saying, we're from the union, we're here to help, we're going to show you how you should be investing your 403B, and it should be in VALIC products. And they were taking a kickback in essence. And they were actually investigated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. They didn't go after the teachers union because I guess they have no jurisdiction, but they did go after American International Group, AIG, and VALIC. And they got a settlement out of them. Of course, VALIC didn't admit or deny guilt or any of that garbage. But what, again, this points out is the fact that there is so much money being made by VALIC that they can afford to pay people to try to cheat teachers out of their money. Because VALIC annuities are far more expensive than a Vanguard mutual fund in your 403B. So before you make a 403B investment, if it has the name annuity in it, run away. I don't care where you go, run away. And make sure your school district gives you some decent choices, like Fidelity or Vanguard. But don't use the annuity option ever. Ever. Okay? 855-935-TALK is our number, 855-935-8255. And, yeah, we can do this. Kathy, welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hey, I have a question. Hey, I am turning 61 next week. Lost my husband to cancer about 7 years ago. He was self-employed and had diabetes, so he had no life insurance. So basically, I got the $120 check from Social Security, and that was that.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got about $100,000 in debt and student loans. I'm in a job that pays me about $65,000 a year. I have a mobile home on 2 acres that I'm renting out, and I have probably, I don't know, maybe about $80,000 in equity there.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I'm not a lot. And so I guess my question is, what's my best? I mean, I don't want to work until I'm 80, but I really want to know, who do I talk to? How do I make my money work the best for me? And just make these next 9 years really count.
Yeah, we're going to talk. We're going to go through some things because you don't have a lot of options, but you do have some. So let's talk about those after we take this break. So stick around for just a minute, please. 855-935-TALK is our phone number, 855-935-8255.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Did you know I wrote a book? Yeah, about 10 years ago, I wrote a book about investing. Financial Physics, with an F, How Money and Investing Really Work. It's a short read. It's a really easy read because, well, as you know, investing is way too easy to be this complicated. And it's been on sale for a long time at Amazon. I updated it in 2018 to a new version. But if you don't want to buy it, you can go buy it at Amazon. It's $10. But if you don't want to buy it, if you want it free, well, you can get it free 2 ways. One, you can get a PDF copy by going to talkingrealmoney.com/free. talkingrealmoney.com/free. If you don't put in the /free, you can't find it. The other way is if you have an iDevice, like an iPhone or an iPad or a Mac, you can go get an interactive version of the book, a special edition that I made that's actually interactive, that's got videos and motion and things going on, and that's also free. Just look for Financial Physics, FYSICS, in the Apple Bookstore or Apple Books or whatever they call it now. Or go to talkingrealmoney.com/free, talkingrealmoney.com/free. And I guarantee you'll enjoy the PDF or the iBook or your money back. Check it out, talkingrealmoney.com/free.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Your questions will be answered if we are able to answer them at 855-935-TALK anytime, but particularly live during the show when we're on Saturdays. So give me a call, 855-935-8255. We're talking to Kathy, who called before the break, and Kathy is 61. She is a widow. She has a $65,000 annual salary, $100,000 in student loans. Is that right?
Yeah, pathetic.
Wow.
It's been over the years, and yep.
Wow.
I've got two master's degrees. Oh, yeah. Anyway,
What's the interest rate? What's the interest rate on those? What's the interest rate on the student loans?
You know what? They're not in front of me. I can't even tell you.
Should be low though. Should be low.
My payment is $250 a month is my payment.
Okay, that's good to know.
Right now.
All right. You say you make $65,000 at work. Do you contribute to? Is there a 401k?
Yes.
Does it match?
And I'm it matches. Yes.
Are you participating?
I've been here a year and a half. I am.
Good. Keep doing that up to the match. That's important.
Okay.
Second,
okay.
if you do that over 9 years, that's going to make a big difference. Plus, if you wait to take Social Security for 9 years, that's going to make a big difference. Because it's going to be a lot.
My other question was, I can take my husband's Social Security, but that has rules attached to it too, right? I can't just start taking that and earn $65,000 a year.
It would be a mistake, yeah. And plus, it grows at a rate of 8% per year. So if you can wait till 70, take it then. You're going to need it then more anyway because you've got a good income now. Now, let's talk about that mobile home.
Okay.
It's on land, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's worth $80,000.
That's correct.
You're not living, you're renting it,
So it's
right?
I have about 80,000 equity. It's probably worth about 160 or 170.
Okay. So you have 80,000 equity.
I owe about 80. Yeah.
And how much income is that generating?
$1,000 a month over the mortgage.
Oh, wow. Really? That's actually pretty darn good. Wow. So you're after the mortgage and expenses, or just the mortgage?
The mortgage and expenses.
Holy mackerel! So you're adding another $12,000 a year to your income from that, correct?
Yeah. Well, the housing market here has just exploded, and for rentals, and my mortgage is only $679 a month.
Okay, well,
I was able to rent it for $1,800.
That's
so,
terrific.
Worked out.
That's terrific. So really, what you should be doing, you don't pay down the student loan. The heck with that. Maybe someday they'll say, "Hey, you don't have to pay on that anymore." With you're contributing to the 401k at work up to the max. Great, up to the match. That's great. You make 65 at work, but you make another 12 on top of that gross, right? So you're making 77 a year?
Correct.
What are your housing expenses?
Really low, because I'm sharing with my sister and her son. So my total household rent and utilities comes about $320.
Oh my gosh. Okay, then here's what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Kathy, in addition to your 401k, put as much as you can every month, $500 or so, at least, into a Roth IRA.
Okay. Roth IRA. Okay.
Do a Roth IRA.
Okay.
And actually, if you have a good 401k at work, you might want to go past the match up until because if you have any extra money every month, the best place for you to put that now is toward your investments, not toward your student loan. Because the rate's low.
Okay.
So, and plus you need to build a nest egg for when you retire.
Right.
And you still have time.
So who should I go to?
You don't have enough money to hire somebody. You don't have enough money to hire somebody. What I would just do is go to Vanguard. Open a Roth IRA at Vanguard. Go to talkingrealmoney.com and take the risk quiz so you can determine how much risk you are capable of taking, and then invest it between the Vanguard Total World Stock Index and the Vanguard Total Bond Market Fund. And you just keep adding to it all the time, no matter what the market does. You never panic. You never, ever panic. You let it ride for the next 9+ years. Because remember, at 70, you're just going to start taking some out of it. You're not going to cash it out. It'll ride for another 19, 20, 30 years. So keep doing it. And remember, we're here all the time. Give us a call. 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. It's really free. And you can do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even if you don't do it during the show. We'll be back very quickly. Don't go away.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
We don't believe in seat-of-your-pants investing. We believe investing should be based on solid science, on academic research. That's why on July 29th, we'll be hosting a brand new class, The New Science of Real Investing, at 8 a.m. via Zoom. Get your tickets right now at talkingrealmoney.com. Just click on the new events button or the events button and reserve your place. Go to talkingrealmoney.com and make sure you're there to learn the science of real investing in our next online Zoom class. Go to talkingrealmoney.com, click on the events button.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
No Tom today, just Don. And I'd love to hear from you at 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. Jonathan, it's your turn. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Well, hi, Don. This is a pretty easy, I hope, issue. I was trying to change brokerage firms from Invesco to Vanguard, but I made a minor mistake in putting in my name and starting the account with Vanguard. I added a senior because my son has the same name, but officially I am not a senior.
Oh.
So they asked for
identification,
a medallion, signature guarantee.
Yeah.
And it's just almost impossible in this environment. Is there something that can be done, or is there a way to get a medallion signature guarantee just for a name change? That's all I'm trying to get, is a name change.
Can you go back? Is there any money in the account yet?
No, I wasn't even able to establish an account with Vanguard yet because of the name.
At Invesco, it has the senior on it.
No, it does not.
Okay.
Invesco doesn't have the senior on it, and that's the thing. So when I went to make the transfer, Invesco didn't have the senior on it, so they're like, well, we can't transfer it because
what I'm saying is go back to Vanguard, close that account, open a new one without the senior.
Oh, all right.
That'll take care of it.
Sounds easy enough.
Yeah, that should take care of it.
Open a new one.
Yep, there's nothing in it. It's not funded.
Right.
Close that account, open a brand new one with the correct name. Shouldn't be a problem. But if you need to get a medallion, even in this environment, as a matter of fact, I was checking something very similar for somebody. And while most of the banks weren't doing it, there is usually in most metro areas one branch of your bank where somebody is doing it. So check that out. But I would just close the account and open a new one. 855-935-TALK is our phone number, 855-935-8255. Somebody called, didn't want to go on the air, but wanted to know about the Ken Fisher investment model. I don't particularly like it. I think his fees are too high. He picks individual stocks. He claims he's a brilliant stock picker. And I know he's very smart, but I don't think anybody can be a brilliant stock picker. And the funny thing is back when he had a mutual fund, the Purissima funds, they underperformed the market, which is probably why he pulled those funds, because you could look up now you can't look up his track record. Good luck trying to find out what his track record is independently verified. You can't. It's almost impossible to get it, but he does pick individual stocks. He is kind of like, he's not a market timer, but he's a stock picker, and we don't believe in that. And he charges way too much, in our opinion, for the services he provides, and you can't verify his track record. So, no, I'm not a big Fisher fan. 855-935-TALK's the number. Linda, you're next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hello. What I have happening here is we live on acreage, and it's zoned 21 homes per acre, but we have 5 acres, and we have a mortgage on it that we're paying out of our 401k and our retirement. But what I'm asking is if it would be good to do a reverse mortgage, although the property in a good market is worth $1,600,000, and we owe $245,000.
Wait, there's a home and acreage, correct?
Yes.
So right now it's just a home on 21 acres. No, 21
on 5 acres.
5 acres.
But it's zoned for
21 homes.
There's 21 lots that can go on here in a good market.
Okay. Yeah, that's not going to matter. That doesn't really matter as far as the reverse mortgage is concerned. Why do you want a reverse mortgage? Why do you think you should get a reverse mortgage?
Because we're making the payments out of our 401k, because we have the house next door, which is supposed to be a rental, but we're not getting the renters to pay any money per month. So we're paying $900 there and $1,700 here. And we're pulling that out of our 401k.
And you live in the house, so you're occupying.
We live on the acreage house.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right. I got it now.
And my concern is there isn't very high that you can go on a reverse mortgage.
No.
Like maybe $600,000 or $800,000.
Yeah.
So
in fact, the value may actually push you out of, because the FHA mortgages have some real strict valuation rules, and I think you're beyond them.
Okay.
So, golly.
So we could move next door then, right? And then use that as a reverse mortgage.
Yeah, actually, that would probably be better. But why? Okay, you have the 2 properties. You have the one that you're not getting any rent from, and then you have the one with all this land in that has all of this development potential, why don't you sell it?
And we've tried, but we're in Kent, and Kent's very different. They won't let you do anything. They're just, anyway.
But what I'm saying, though, is if it's worth that kind of money and you have another house you're perfectly happy living in, why don't you sell it?
Sell
the acreage.
House we're in?
The acreage. Yeah, the house.
Well, because we just can't get a buyer for it. We can't get a buyer for it. Because there's too many restrictions on the developing of that land. The costs are too expensive in Kent.
Well, but what I guess what I'm
the developer just won't pay it. Won't do
well,
it.
but there's always a price at which something is saleable.
Oh, okay.
This argument when people say I can't sell it, it makes no. There is always a price at which someone will buy something. Because if it is legally zoned for more houses, then a developer may just have to spend more money and build houses and spend a lot more with the government, so they're willing to pay less for the land because they'll have greater expenses in developing it. But there is a number. There's always a number.
Okay.
And I would really
so
just
you don't
because
like the reverse mortgage, though. You don't like that.
I don't think it's going to solve a lot of problems, and I think if it's going to be tough to sell in the future, I mean, it's tough to sell now, it's still going to be tough to sell in the future, so you might as well take it and go, because it's not likely to appreciate a lot either, if it's that kind of a pain. Okay. So I would find a price at which it's...
We love living here, but we don't like making the payment.
Well, but the other thing is, though, can you subdivide the house from the rest of the acreage? Can you subdivide the house out to a 1 acre, for example, and sell off the other 4?
Maybe.
Might be worth looking into. Might solve all your problems.
Okay.
Look into it. Otherwise,
you don't like the reverse mortgage on it, though. Or you don't think we could get a loan on that?
I don't think you could get it on the acreage. I think you could on the smaller house. But then what are you going to do with the acreage if you're living in the smaller house?
Right. That's true.
So from a financial standpoint, here's how you can have your cake and eat it too. Move into the smaller house, sell the acreage, take all that money, and buy yourself a little summer cabin up in the mountains so that you can go out and enjoy some acreage.
There we go.
Okay? Something like that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it. And remember, you can call us 24 hours a day. It's really easy. You can also send questions in just by going to talkingrealmoney.com/contact, and you can type them up, or you can record it on your computer, and we'll answer them during the podcast. So one way or another, you're going to get your questions answered, and you're going to get them answered in the way they deserve to be answered by somebody who's not trying to sell you an annuity or a mutual fund or a commission product or pretty much anything. So go do that. Thanks for listening. Tom will be back next week after his vacation, I think, unless he has so much fun he doesn't leave.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
If you're sick of your self-interested financial advisor and are looking for a 100% fiduciary low-fee investment advisor, call my firm Vestory at 800-386-3004 or visit us at vestory.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
And let me make you an offer you can't refuse. If you need more help than we can provide in these quick calls, we make our advisors available to anyone. Whether you ever become a client of our firm or not, it doesn't matter. We don't pressure you to buy or do anything. We will help you, and we will do it for free with no obligation. All you have to do is go to either talkingrealmoney.com or vestory.com and make an appointment, or call 800-386-3004.
We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately, consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestory, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit talkingrealmoney.com for more information and disclosures. That's a wrap.